Let's learn the introduction to 805 by Moby Grape. Here's how it sounds. This is going to be the most serious, least fun guitar tutorial I've ever made. This is a serious song for serious people, no interest in messing around. Let's just learn the notes. 805 by Moby Grape. This would be a good time for me to have a little factoid about the song or the band, but I have no such thing. I'm just gonna do it. Oh wait, okay, before I just dive into it, let me tell you this. I like to think of this intro as being made of 5 parts. So we're gonna kind of go, here's part 1, here's part 2, part 3, part 4, and then part 5 at the end. Some parts are easy, some are difficult, but let's begin with part 1. Please place your middle finger on the 5th fret of the G string, like so. Then you're gonna have your thumb, no pick for this song, we're doing all fingers. So your thumb is going to play the open A string, and at the same time, you're gonna have, could be kind of any finger. I use my middle finger to play that 5th fret on the G string. You're gonna pinch those 2 strings together to get that sound. That does not sound like 805, but that's because immediately after we pinch those strings together, you're gonna slide your middle finger up to 6. Right after that, your pointer finger comes down to the 5th fret on the high E string, and then you're gonna pluck that string by itself. Then, pointer finger plays the G string, thumb plays the A string. We're gonna take it nice and slow. Then, pinch together the A and G strings again, but this time slide up to 7. Then pointer finger comes down to 6 on the high E string. That can't possibly be right. I take that back. Don't use your pointer finger. Have your ring finger play the 7th fret on the high E string. That's better. So now we're sliding from 6 up to 7. And then ring finger comes down to play the 7th fret on the high E string. That's so much better. Pinch together the A string and the G string once again. This time slide your middle finger all the way up to the 9th fret. Let's see what we've got so far. Oh, you see that? Slide up to 9, then play the 9th fret on the high E string. Middle finger, ring finger, from the beginning. So that first chord, I've got my middle finger and my pointer finger working together. Then I've got middle finger and ring finger on the 7th fret, and then middle finger and ring finger on the 9th fret. I think that concludes part 1. That's part 1 of the song there. We've done it. Congratulations. Your certificate is in the mail. You've completed part 1 of 805 by Moby Grape. Part 2 is extremely difficult. I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb and say that this is the most difficult part of the introduction of the song, and probably the song as a whole. You need to take your pointer finger and place it on the 9th fret on the high 3 strings. So the E string, B string, and G string. You are going to bar all 3 of those strings with your pointer finger on the 9th fret. Then put your middle finger on the 10th, middle finger on the 10th fret of the high E string, ring finger on the 11th fret of the G string. So we've got middle finger on 10, pointer fingers barring 9 for the bottom 3 strings, and then ring finger 11th fret on the G string. Pinch together over here with your thumb and your middle finger at the high E string and the G string. Okay, great, fantastic. Get rid of your middle finger and ring finger, but keep your pointer finger and play those same 2 strings. So that's G and E strings. Get rid of those. Play just the 9th fret on those same 2 strings. Then immediately hammer on your middle finger and ring finger back onto the frets where they just were. So we've got, see that? So that's a double hammer on there on different strings and different frets. That's gonna take some practice. Then immediately after that, pull off those two fingers. If you can give them the strings a little flick when you pull off, that'd be great. But because we're moving so quickly, even if you just pull those fingers directly off the strings, we're still gonna hear the notes we want. So that's, see that? We've got that part. You might just wanna practice that a little bit. Maybe that should be its own part all by itself. That's part 2A, I guess. Then, your pointer finger is done with the 9th fret, so you can chill out with your pointer finger. Then play with your pinky the 12th fret on the B string, 2nd string from the bottom, and with your ring finger the 12th fret on the D string. That's the 3rd string from the top. You're gonna pinch those two strings together with your thumb and middle finger. So it's both on 12. You're gonna have to, see how I kind of change the angle of my hand a little bit? I have to go from this straight up and down angle to kind of tilt my fingers so they can reach that 12th fret easily. Okay, we're doing good. We're doing great. There we go. Then, finally done with that part, you're gonna put your middle finger on the 10th fret of the B string, ring finger on the 11th fret of the D string. So we've got 12 and 12, then we've got 10 and 11, then go to 9 and 9. That's gonna be pinky on 9 of the B string and ring finger on 9 of the D string. See that right there? So I'm switching from ring finger and middle to ring finger and pinky, but my ring finger is staying on the D string. Notice how when I get to the 12 and 12, my ring finger stays there, ring finger stays on the D string, ring finger stays on the D string. Then to finish up this part, with your pointer finger, bar the B, G, and D strings on the 7th fret, and you're gonna pinch together the D and B string. Okay, I think we've got it. That concludes part 2. Let's move on to part 3. I have excellent news. Part 3 is much easier and much shorter than part 2. We get a little break after that very difficult section of the song. We ended with the pointer finger barring the 7th fret. Keep your pointer finger in that same basic place, but you can relax it. We don't need to bar anymore. You're just gonna push with the tip of your finger on the 7th fret of the D string. Go ahead and play that note. You can use your thumb or your fingers over here. What do? I use my thumb. I play that 7th fret on the D string. Then immediately with my ring finger, hammer onto the 9th fret, and then pull off again to the 7th fret. So that's 7, hammer to 9, pull off to 7. Just like that. Then with my ring finger, I reach up to the A string, play the 9th fret on the A string, and then finally, the open E string. So that was... Let's not review from the... I'm very tempted to review from the very beginning of the introduction. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to charge ahead. My name is Stuart, by the way. Welcome to Guitar Lessons with Stuart. If you just tuned in, this is 805 by Moby Grape. Just the introduction. I'm not going to worry about the chords. I don't care about those chords. I do care about them. I like them, but we're just not going to learn them right now. Part 4. You just ended part 3 with that low E string. So now I have to remember what comes next. I remember. Played the 7th fret on the A string. I just play with my thumb over here, pointer finger over here, thumb over here. Then move your pointer finger up to the 9th fret on the A string, play that note, hammer on to the 12th fret. No, don't you dare hammer on to the 11th fret. So we go E, 7, 9, hammer to 11. Yeah, we're on track. We're doing good. We got it. All right, we did that. Now pointer finger's gonna have to do some more barring. Pointer finger is gonna bar the 9th fret on the D string and the G string. And then I pinch together those D and G strings over here with my thumb and pointer finger. So that was E, 7, 9, 11, then the middle 2 strings on the 9th fret. This is a little tricky. We have a little Hendrixy part right here. We just pinched together those 2 middle strings. You're gonna pinch them together yet again. So you pinch them together, then pinch them together again, but immediately after that second time pinching them together, hammer on to the 11th fret of the D string with your ring finger. Hear that? I'm not hammering on both strings. I'm only hammering on the D string, and I'm trying to keep my ring finger away from the G string entirely because I don't want to mute the G string when I do the hammer on. I want to keep hearing the G string, but hammer on the 11th fret on the D string. After that, go back to just 9 and 9 by themselves with your pointer finger and pinch those 2 strings together again. Oh, it's beautiful! You hear that? Then to finish up part, whatever this is, part 4? I think we're on part 4. Ring finger plays the 11th fret on the A string. So all of part 4 goes like this. That sounds good, right? I think we did it. We have one more part. This part's easy. I feel like I'm getting kind of obsessed with the different parts. I feel like that was a mistake. I feel like now I'm like, oh, remember part 1? This is part 5. Part 4. So many parts. It's my brilliant twist on this song is I divided it into parts for no real reason. There's a reason, because now we get to talk about parts a lot. I think I'm just going to move on with the last part. You just did this. Then go ahead and put your middle finger on the 9th fret of the D string. Pinch together the A string and the D string. Pinch those together. It's a beautiful sound. Then slide up to the 11th fret with your, whatever finger that is, your middle finger. And then your pointer finger is going to play the 10th fret on the B string and go ahead and play it over here with your middle finger. That's all there is to part 5. It's just, honestly, probably could have tacked it on to part 4, right? But I chose to have it be its own separate part. Now we may review. From the beginning, part 1. Part 2. That part's hard. Part 3. Part 4. Part 5. Now, I just realized I made a horrible flaw. In between part 3 and part 4, I ended part 3 with this open E, and then I started part 4 with this open E. There's only one open E. You don't play it twice. You go, I lost track of everything. That's the intro. Look, get off my back. That's the song.